Now let's bring the conversation home to Nigeria as the Edo State House of Assembly has impeached the state deputy governor, Philip Shaibu. The impeachment followed the adoptions of the report of the 7-man panel constituted to investigate the allegations of misconduct against Philip Shaibu. 18 out of the 19 lawmakers present at the plenary voted voted in support of the impeachment. Philip Shaibu has made history as the first deputy governor to be impeached in the political history of Edo State. Governor Godwin Obaseki has now appointed a 38-year-old Omobayo Marvelous Godwin, who will be sworn in as his deputy any moment from now. Now, to other news making the headlines, former Nigerian Vice President, Atiku Abubakar has accused the administration of President Bola Tinubu of engaging in questionable dealings with the development of the 700-kilometer Lagos-Calabar coastal highway. The 2023 PDP presidential candidate alleged that President Bola Tinubu is putting personal business interests before Nigerian infrastructure. The statement is coming on the heels of the announcement by the federal government to start construction on the 700-kilometer coastal highway. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, revealed that the contractor commenced work following the formal handover of the initial phase of the project, comprising 47.47 kilometers of dual carriageway, to High-Tech Construction Company Limited. Now, reacting to Umahi's statement, Atiku alleged that the project's allocation to Gilbert Chaguri's High-Tech Construction Company Limited, devoid of any documented competitive bidding process or decision by the Federal Executive Council. Well, joining us now to discuss this development is Arise analyst Dayo Sobowale. It's great to have you on the program. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's a pleasure of being here, Suja.
Right, a lot to unpack in these events that have unfolded over the past few days concerning the Lagos-Calabar coastal highway. What is your take on Atiku Abubakar's commentary?
Well, to me, it's politics as usual, but it's politics in the right direction. It's monitoring government and it's calling on the government to heed the call for transparency and accountability. It's okay by me, you know. But you say you look at the contents and the way he has gone about it. It's not as if he just woke up. He has done his own work very well. But you see, the bulk this time, in terms of response, should not stop on the table of the president alone, because there is the Minister of Works who made the announcement. There is the observations on debt about Lagos State made by Atiku. And then you look at the history of the project and the connection between Lagos and Calabar. You know, there is need for some elaboration, explanations to quell the insinuations. Here is what he has said. He has spoken openly. And he has not said nonsense. What he has said makes sense. If you have a project like that, it's build, operate, and transfer, BOT. So there's no need for any funds, because you have the capacity. But he said now, some funds have been earmarked. And he, the politician that he is, has traced that to the Infrastructure Renewal Fund of the APC and the presidency. That one is not part of federal budget, and it's not to be gotten from the federal funds. That's what he's saying. But then he's talking politics, because if he was to become, if he is the president, he too will have a project like that. You get me? By which people posterity will remember him, and that will be his legacy. So his observations are, to me, made in good faith. So it's left to those involved and responsible and accountable on the allegations that we should respond. I hear that Dayo Ononuga has already replied. But then, you see, his own is to defend what is happening. But those who should elaborate, the Minister of Works, should respond to that. And the Lagos State, which he indirectly accused of being a debtor state, which I doubt. A lot of projects have gone on. Even the light rail built by the Chinese started almost 10 years ago. And when it was going on, I was living along that route. And that project made me to respect engineering because I saw it from scratch. Build just like that. The thing was like weaving the bridge, pillar by pillar. And then it is functioning now. Before that, Lagos wanted something like that, or that Dakonde, 1983. But unfortunately, it was Buhari who cancelled it at a cost of over millions of dollars to the Lagos taxpayers. Now, I think Atiku is afraid that sort of thing will happen. And then he even almost got personal with it, that the project should have started at Calabar instead of Lagos. And I think it's because of the bad vibes he has for Tinubu. Calabar is a lesser port than Lagos. It's only Donald Duke who tried his best to make Calabar with Tinapa. You remember the Tinapa project? Fantastic project. My bank was involved in it for some time. I don't know how it is doing now. But you see, this project is to make for opening up our country. It's not the first time. You see, if you look at where people come from, you read personal motive into it. See, the last president linked us with Niger Republic, and some people are questioning that. And unfortunately, you know what happened with the coup there. Those things are, but he linked us up because Niger and those countries not of on top of the Sahel, they are landlocked. When we had a problem with Niger, they had to find a route to Benin Republic to get to the sea. So this one, and Calabar is a port. Calabar is a port. Although it used to be, in those days, it used to be a famous slave center. But the transatlantic trade. So linking up Calabar and Lagos, it's going to be a big project. And it will surely take time and cost a lot of money. Of course, it will start from Lagos, Lagos being what it is. I don't want to go into the connection between ITEC and Tinubu, which he mentioned. He should elaborate further on that. That is not my purview. Get me? But the project is a public-spirited project. And it's worthy of criticism. And those who are criticized should respond in kind. So we make progress.
Spoken very well, Mr. Sobowale. It's a public-spirited project, and you also did say that you're pleased with, with Atiku raising this matter. But in terms of how much it's going to cost, it's a huge project, like we all know. What role would you like to see civil society organizations and media play in order to ensure that transparency is made? There's enough transparency or significant transparency regarding this project?
I'm not interested in civil society organizations. I'm interested in the sort of thing Atiku is saying. Atiku has a locus, you get me? Because he lost the election. Obi to join the foray, because that is what is called accountability. The majority must have its way, the minority or the opposition must have its say. I'm interested in that. The civil liberties people, I'm suspicious because of their origin. It was when America lost Vietnam that they started focusing on, during the Cold War, on the one-party states that were their enemies, China, Russia, and all that. So they started comparing their own form of democracy with those. Those ones, they are one-party states. They don't have scant regard for civil liberties. But the Americans, yes, they say civil liberties, and that they will put food on the table. That is tainted now. Democracy is not putting food on the table anywhere. So it's causing serious disagreements, mostly leading to anarchy. So what is important is any democracy, including our own and the American one, should shorten the gap between the rich and the poor and enhance the capability and means by which the poor can have access to the good things of life. That is what this project is part of, that to open up trade and development.
I love that you're emphasizing this point because, you know, one of the things that brought the conversation around this project to public attention was the fact that one of the major investors and business operators on the new route, shall I say, because there was an original Lagos to Calabar route, and there's now a new route coming out of Lagos, which passes through the landmark beach and the landmark ecosystem. And what came to light is that he was served a 7-day notice to vacate his business premises because the construction of the road would have to go through his businesses, but not to isolate his business. There are several businesses along the new route, if I may call it. Now, I'm curious, because as you say, proud Lagosian, what's more important to you? Is it this super highway that people are saying is for the public good, or is it the businesses and the ecosystems that have been built along this route? Shouldn't there be a way for things to coexist? Why are we telling people to vacate businesses that have had millions of dollars invested for the sake of this road? Is this the way to do it?
Well, that's the way to do it. But they pay compensation. These sort of things happen when you build new roads, new highways, but you compensate people. When you put turbines for electricity in some areas.
7 days notice.
Well, I don't know about that. That 7 day notice may be too short, get me. But then it is when there is acquisition, there must be compensation. That is the legal thing. And you see, you are talking of businesses. You know, Lagos, you know this Omoniles, people, the Oniru family, people who own most of the coastal area along Lekki, they too are up in arms against government. But these things will be sorted out. That is Abuja. Remember, Abuja was just something there in the middle of Nigeria. You see how it is now. Brasilia was built like that in Brazil, and Bonn, the capital of Germany. Okay, that was administrative capital. But you see, when you do projects, capital projects, roads, infrastructure, and you acquire land and you create routes, you must pay compensation. If they don't, they go to court. And if they go to court, see, it may even be better for some people to go to court because the law will take its course and maybe pay them more than if they had left. But you see, the acquisition should not be by force, and it should have enough time for people to be able to hit the other. Yes.
Should have enough time for people to be able to hit the other, but we've run out of time. I'm still stuck on what Mr. Sobowale said earlier. Bad vibes. Hearing that from you was it felt good when you said bad vibes. But let's leave it at that. Thank you so much for your analysis, Mr. Sobowale. We appreciate you as always.